Peace, peace. Chance back at you again with another video reviewing the Ravens. This video is going to be going over the Ravens versus Chiefs, which was an automatic classic game. The Ravens won 36-35. And we're just going to get right into it. Going to basically do an offensive, defensive recap. I'll start with the coaches real quick. Like, I like what I saw from the coaches. Greg Roman still had a few. I think I remember 1 second and long where he ran the ball, and it didn't make sense for the down and distance. But overall, Greg Roman called a very solid game, and Wink did too. I think Greg Roman kind of stuck to the code while implementing what he needed to implement, and Wink kind of backed off a bit from what he always does or what he's known for, which is the blitzing, the exotic blitzes, and sending the house, as we may say. So, like what the coaches did, Harbaugh is Harbaugh. Am I somebody that's like ecstatic with the Ravens coaching staff and everything of that nature? I can't say that. If they continue to coach and to play and to perform as a unit like they did last week, that will more than likely change my mind. But I think certain coaches should still kind of have a critical eye on them as the season progresses. But to go straight into the offense, very happy with what we saw from Lamar Jackson. He's the focal point. Everything starts and ends with Lamar. And if you've seen the game, which everybody did, Lamar started off pretty tough, and it was unfortunate how the game just started off. It was just very, very non-enjoyable to watch. So to see Sammy Watkins fall on that first pick, which technically wasn't Lamar's fault, yet you want him to kind of see him slip and throw it to the ground, so on and so forth, or maybe throw it away or go to a second read. But, hey, it was what it was. But that second pick, it was Tyrann Mathieu in the box, I believe, and he was giving Goff zero coverage. But then as Lamar snapped the ball, he dropped back, made a great play on the ball, and got the interception. And that was unfortunate. And at that point in the game, going against the Chiefs, it's not like it's over, but I'm like, see, stuff like that is going to like I was mad at Lamar, like, come on, baby, value these possessions, value the ball, things of that nature. Turnovers like that are big, big game changers, especially against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. So at that point, I wasn't totally discouraged, like this is an automatic L, but I was kind of scratching my head, come on, man, you can't do that, Lamar. So, after that, Lamar got it together. He missed that first pass to Hollywood as well. He was wide open, so he can't continue to miss those passes. Hit all those easy passes, hit all those touchdown passes. But Lamar fought back, as we know. Got the ball to Hollywood through the air for a tub, got in the tub twice himself, and he really rallied the troops. And the whole time, I'm thinking, and I'm in the Bleacher Report little community and commenting in there, and I'm just like, come on, 8, it's on you. You got to make up for them turnovers. You got to come back and really be the reason why the Ravens win this game. And of course, there was another big reason why they won the game, but Lamar offensively, Lamar as the leader of the team, as the quarterback, got the Ravens where they needed to be in this game. And I was very happy for him because, this game is not just big for Lamar in the standpoint of winning and getting a win on the schedule. It was like he said, kind of getting that monkey off his back, continuously losing to the Chiefs, continuously losing heads up to Patrick Mahomes. But it's also big for his contract. It's big for his confidence. It's big for his stature as for who he is on the team. So to come back to fight against all of the narratives, Lamar can't come back from multiple scores. Lamar can't come back down by multiple scores in the fourth quarter. To really come back and fight against those narratives and truly prove that even though Lamar may not give you 300 plus, 350 plus in the air every week, he's giving you 350, 300 plus total every week. He's getting touchdowns when he's running that ball. He's running the ball in situations where you need him to, and he's maintaining control of the clock and keeping drives alive. So Lamar is a very unique talent. I think the only person that you can even argue, or only a few people that come to mind immediately that are more dangerous with the football, is Mahomes and Brady, are just as dangerous in a different facet, of course, because Lamar is not going to be picking people apart in the air like a Brady or Mahomes, and Mahomes and Brady aren't going to run like Lamar is. So I was just happy to see Lamar fight through those narratives and really push through and be what the team needed him to be. Love what the Ravens got from the offensive line. Everybody probably, except the offensive line and the coaches, was concerned about the O-line, losing Ronnie Stanley, having Villanueva move from right tackle to left tackle, getting Macari at right tackle. I think Ben Powers was in there at left guard. So just the offensive line was, I wouldn't say in shambles, but a lot of unproven players, a lot of new players in the mix. But the offensive line performed well. Lamar did get sacked, I think, maybe 2 or 3 times. But nonetheless, he had pretty clean pockets, and the offensive line did exactly what they needed to do in the run game. So I was very impressed with the offensive line, very happy with how they played. And hopefully they can stack, build chemistry, and move forward and continue to play at that same level so that whenever Ronnie Stanley does come back, it can kind of be a smooth transition, and everyone else will be rolling on all cylinders. So really happy about the offensive line and their performance, and hoping they can build on that moving forward into this upcoming week in this game against the Lions. The running backs, they did their thing. Williams had a fumble that was, would have been critical, but shout out to Duvernay. He was right there to catch it and get in the end zone. Let me think. Freeman had a big run, and then Murray held his own too. With the running backs, with Lamar and everything that he does, as long as you're running hard, you're using your vision, you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, your job is going to be a lot easier. So the running backs and the running game hasn't skipped a beat. You can attribute that to the O-line, and then you can attribute that to the Lamar effect and the running back still being ready, because you got to be ready. You got to make cuts. You got to finish runs. You got to catch the ball. You got to do all of those things. And speaking of catching the ball, Lamar hit Williams a few times on some check downs on a couple drives where it might have been a specific drive, but I love that Lamar was going to the check down, and he was staying patient, that he wasn't too much in a rush to make that big play. It was kind of taking what the defense gave him. And when Lamar does that, and when Lamar settles in, he's up there, like I said, with a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady, or those just dangerous with the football, especially when he's got the RPO going. So, and speaking of the RPO and going back to play calling, I was happy that they called the RPO when they did. Each time Lamar scored, I was calling for the RPO, like RPO, make it simple. So not only did Greg Roman call a good game in regards to making sure the offensive line was blocking and hitting their run fits, running backs was hitting holes and doing the things that they were doing. He was timely when he called the RPO. Lamar was timely when he called his own number and ran the ball. And that's what keeps the defense off balance, and that's what makes that ability so unique and so deadly. It's when you situationally use it. So it was just an overall good game. If we go to the receivers and the pass catchers, Andrews did his thing. I think he had about 5 catches for 50 yards and no drops. So glad to see that, because last week Andrews had a big drop, which I feel like would have kept a drive alive if I'm not mistaken. But, we moving forward, and I think Andrews is still primed for a big year. Let's see who else we got in the receiving category. Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins had a big drop. I think he might have had 2 drops. He had that big drop, but outside of that, he played a solid game. I think Sammy Watkins was pretty solid. But who is the number 1 wide receiver for the Ravens as of now, and I feel like he always kind of has been, but they haven't featured him and used him like they should be. But he's showing and proving like, hey, I can play on the outside, and I'm a number 1 too. And that's Hollywood Brown. He went off again, another 100-plus yard game, another tub, and I don't think Hollywood had any drops either. So just happy to see that Lamar and Hollywood connection, because they're so close off the field. And I want to make sure that they're both performing on the field. So Hollywood has legit ability to get that money that he's going to be deserved, and they'll keep Hollywood around because, it doesn't matter how close of friends you are off the field, you still got to perform on the field. So I'm happy to see Hollywood perform the way that he is, because it just furthermore is showing and proving he has the ability to be a number one. He has the ability to be a featured weapon in your offense, and has the ability to get you 1K and 12 to 15 touchdowns a season. And, you can't 90 to 100 catches a season, and you cannot go without that. I don't care how run-centric you are, how dynamic Lamar is in the run game, how much Lamar makes the running backs better. Everything Lamar does just in the run game, you got to have a 1,000-yard receiver, that 800, 900-yard receiver, 90 to 100 catches, 10 to 15 tubs a year. You need it. And maybe the Ravens weren't aware of that in the past, or never really got it going, or wanted to stay so committed to the run game. But right now, it looks like they're going to get Hollywood where he needs to go, which is those numbers that I just mentioned, about 900 to 1,000 receiving, about 90 to 100 catches, 10 to 15 tubs. And Hollywood is fully – I mean, if Hollywood does what he's been doing, he'll get 1,700 yards and 17 tubs, which we know you're not going to get 100. Hollywood's not going to get 100 receiving yards per game and a tub per game, but he's looking great, and I'm happy to see that connection. If we move, and that jump pass was wild. That was like one of the plays of the game on offense. That jump pass was wild, Hollywood. I'm like, Lamar's really like that. I think he had like a little jump pass joint to Andrews, or was that when he was getting tackled? That was at Browns game in the back of the end zone. That was wild too. But Lamar's known to do some stuff in the air in the pass game too. Wild. I think that was like one of the plays of the game, that jump pass touchdown. But moving on to the defensive side of the ball, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the Chiefs. We pretty much know what they stand for and what they represent. I feel like the defense held their own. Patrick Queen and Malik Harrison still need to progress in the pass coverage game. Patrick Queen needs to progress in just his overall strength and willingness to hit and really go in there and punish people from the linebacker position when he's going in to stop the run and filling gaps and filling those holes. The corners did accept the corners did cool. Tavon Young got a pick. Marlon Humphrey still. I mean, for our top corner, I want more from Marlon. I really want what I want from Marlon is almost like, and it's kind of, I guess you can expect it, but I want Jalen Ramsey. I mean, it doesn't have to be necessarily some of the. I feel like Jalen Ramsey may have better ball skills and ability to get interceptions and things of that nature, but just playing the ball a little bit better in the back end and just being a game changer on defense. And Marlon does this thing. Don't get me twisted. It's just like Marlon's probably the best player on defense. He's $100 million man, basically. Like I expect a turnover, a big play, multiple big plays from him a game. So really want him to start turning it up, moving forward into the season, getting some of those patented punch outs, and then also getting his hands on the ball in regards to interceptions and picks. But, any corner can get scored on. But I mean, when I watched Jalen Ramsey, I forget who they played, but he was just a monster. And I think it was just 2 consecutive plays where it was like, see, that's that stuff right there. But then I think the last game that they played, he got a pick, like sealed the game. So, I mean, Marlon Humphrey isn't Jalen Ramsey. They are 2 different players, but I expect that type of game-changing ability on the defensive end. It may not be in the exact way that Jalen Ramsey does it, but, looking to see a bit more from Marlon. And, he shouldn't get scored on for at least 4 or 5 games. And people may think that's a stretch, but, I expect that from you, bro. You a $100 million corner, basically. You a top 3, top 5 corner, bro. Don't get scored on. Especially by – I ain't going to call him a no-name, but it wasn't Tyreek. It wasn't Kelsey, so I don't know who it was. But, Marlon is still that guy. He's still our top corner. I'm still confident in him, but just want to see more from Marlon, want to see him really step up and be that game changer in the secondary and that game changer on defense, especially losing Peters. So, Elliott, they lost Elliott. They brought in, I think they brought in, I forget who they did. I think they brought in your boy from last year. Geno Stone. I think they brought in Geno Stone. I think he held up solid. Didn't hear his name too much. Chuck Clark Didn't see too much from Chuck Clark. Didn't hear Chuck Clark's name too much. Don't really remember him jumping off the screen doing much. I mean, the defense is pretty much getting ate up most of the game. They did have some timely stops. Like I said, the Tavon Young pick was very timely. Even that pat down or that deflection that Anthony Aver got against Tyreek in one-on-one coverage was a beautiful play. The secondary did take, or the defense did take Tyreek out of the game. And Kelce ate, but on that touchdown, I mean, I count 3 to 4 missed tackles, but Kelce was going to do his thing. And they had Malik Harrison. Like, Kelce, you almost got to put Chuck Clark or Marlon on him, or you got to have somebody like in the secondary on him, or you got a doubling. But they were doubling Tyreek Hill. I'm sure they were doubling Kelce here and there. I don't have the all 22 footage to sit and watch every play, but the defense was getting ate up. They made timely plays when they need to. Pass rush is still lackluster, not exactly where you want it to be, but we'll see how it continues to progress throughout the season. The D-line was banged up. They lost Brandon Williams I think they lost him in the second half. So the defense looked cool. The defense was okay, but I mean, you got to understand who they're going against as well. They'll tighten up here as they play lesser opponents and start to statistically look better and hopefully just look better as a unit. But the defense made the play of the game. Odafe Oweh made the play of the game. He got the strip sack, or not the strip sack, but he got the strip in scoop, or the strip in the recovery. In not the last play of the game, but the play that basically sealed the game or got the game back into the Ravens' favor. Very proud of Odafe Oweh. He was an individual that a lot of fans and just Ravens media and followers or people on the staff were a little shocked about due to his inability to get sacks or stack up sacks in his last season. But he has shown that he very well may be worth that draft pick, and that he very well may be the next likely to make a play on defense behind Marlon Humphrey. So he is looking like he has the potential to be a game changer. Want to see him progress in the pass rush field and just always be there, always be in the backfield. But you do see him in the backfield at times. You do see him flash. We know his athleticism is off the charts. So I'm very happy for the young man. Extremely happy for the team and the defense as a whole, because they went with the bend but don't break. So they got timely stops. They made mistakes. Like I said, the linebacker coverage is very questionable, but you also have to play more linebackers and things of that nature with Elliott going out. So they didn't always have that flexibility to use those strong safeties or those free safeties and bring them up in the box and use them to help shadow and shell Kelce and Tyreek Hill. But they did a great job on Tyreek Hill. I think he had about 3 to 5 receptions for about 15, 14 yards. So not a bad job against him, actually an excellent job against him. But they're going to have to find ways that they see Kansas City in the future to guard those tight ends better. Probably using the safety, probably using somebody potentially like Westry or Jimmy Smith, preferably Jimmy Smith, and Westry can kind of learn from Jimmy Smith as when he comes back off injury reserve, being that larger corner, being a taller, bigger build cornerback. So looking forward for Jimmy Smith to come back. Hopefully Jimmy Smith comes back and L. Bell comes back this upcoming week. That would be lovely. This would be a good little tune-up game, a team that kind of, the Ravens should handle, but we'll do our own little video about the Ravens versus the Lions. But overall, this is an instant classic. After Oweh, of course, got the strip and got the recovery, Lamar, they did like a few conservative runs. Then they threw it, couldn't get the first down. And then, of course, the infamous "do you want to go for it?" which we all know Lamar said yes, and he got that first down, and it really sealed the deal. So this was an instant classic. Very happy that the team and Lamar was able to fight through the adversity and some of the issues that they had in the beginning of the game with the pick six, with the second interception as they were driving, because that second interception could have been 3 points or a tub. So, that could have been a 7 or, excuse me if I got the burp, that could have been a 7-point or, a 3-point swing. So gave them basically 7 points for sure, but also gave away another 7 or 3 points. So when you can give away when you can make those types of mistakes against the Chiefs and come back and actually win, looking forward to Lamar putting together a mistake-free game or minimal mistakes in regards to big picks, the pick six and things of that nature. So very excited that this team went 1-1. I was an individual who thought, the team was going to go 0-2. Wasn't confident in the team this game, and they had to like gain and build my confidence because Lamar threw 2 picks, and I'm like, yeah, see, that's kind of like what we're talking about. But the line was holding up, so I wouldn't say like I was like bashing the team or anything of that nature, but I just wasn't confident. Like I wasn't sitting here like this about to be a win. The Ravens about to win. Like I know they got this in the bag. But to see them win, to see them fight against adversity, to see them push through the obstacles that they had to face and actually get the win was very enjoyable to watch. Happy for the team. Happy that the Ravens are 1-1. They are right in the mix. I think the AFC North division is locked up at 1-1 with everybody. Looking forward to this upcoming week against the Lions. They really should perform and do their thing. This should be a relatively solid win. I'm not going to say easy. Nothing's easy, but they should definitely have a solid performance and come out and get the W this upcoming week against the Lions. Looking forward to that game and just happy that you can wake up on a Monday morning and know that a lot of people are going to backtrack everything they say about Lamar, but they're going to have to tone down some of the Lamar hate from the sports media and the pundits. Glad that the Ravens got this win and ready to see them perform this upcoming week against the Lions. So we'll be doing a little prediction or expectations for that game here soon. And everybody enjoy their week. And if you watch this, please share it and like it and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you. Peace.